One-side limits of functions. I'm Anil Kumar and I've designed a format for you so that you understand the concept of one-side limits of functions. So we'll have different kind of functions. We'll sketch a graph, rough sketch, and then from that we'll find limits as the function approaches a point from left side, right side, and also does it have a limit at that point will be a question answered at the end, right? So we'll follow this procedure for a couple of videos. I hope that helps you to understand the concept. Question here is f of x equals to square root of x minus 1. Sketch the graph of the function. Determine limit of f of x as x approaches 5 from the right side. That plus indicates right side. C is determine limit of the function f of x as x approaches 5 from left side. And D is determine limit of the function f of x as x approaches 5. So first step is let us sketch the graph. Now to sketch the graph, it is a good practice to start with the parent function and then apply the transformation, right? So I hope that strategy works for you also. So we have x-axis and y-axis. We have put f of x on the y-axis. I'll choose a light color specifically for sketching a parent function. Parent function here is square root x, and square root x is kind of like this, right? I'm not writing any values here, Square root of 1 is 1, 4 is 2, 9 is 3, and so on. So when you do it on a graph paper, do it properly. Now, our function is x minus 5. That means translated 5 units in which direction? Horizontally, of course, 5 units to the right, correct? Now, when you translate this function 5 units to the right, then the starting point shifts from the origin to 5 units to the right, and so you have this function, correct? So this point is 5 for us on the x-axis, correct? So that's the critical point which we are going to discuss for now. So that's the graph, correct? Now part B is determine limit of function f of x as x approaches 5 from positive side. Now positive side means from the right side, okay? So you are approaching from the right side, let us like this. So approaching from the positive side. So as you approach, you hit the graph, and as you approach 5, you reach a value which is equal to 0, correct? So that is the limit. A value of f of x which you are approaching, not the value at 5, okay? Now, that is the value. We are approaching the value of 0. We come very, very close to that. That is the answer, right? Now the second part is, which is part C here, determine limit of f of x as x approaches 5 from the negative side. That means you're approaching from this side. Now this side the function is not defined. Well, the domain of the function is that x belongs to real numbers and x is greater than or equal to 5, correct? So minus 5, it does not exist, right? So it is not defined, correct? It is not defined, or you can say it does not exist. Use the terms which you have been using in the class. Last part of this question is determine limit of the function as x approaches 5. Now whenever we are looking for limit of a function as it approaches a point, we have to see both left side and right side limits. Now since one of these is not defined, or since they are different, this limit also does not exist, correct? So the reason here is, well, you can write down that limit as x approaches 5 from positive side for the same function is not equal to limit as x approaches 5 from the negative type for the f function. It does not exist. Or you can also write that since the limit does not exist, as we approach 5 from the left side, the limit as x approaches 5 does not exist. So you can use any of these statements, whichever you feel comfortable with. Both are absolutely correct statements, right? So that is how you need to answer these questions. We'll take a couple of more examples, and with that, I think you should be in a good position to get all these questions right in your test. Thank you and all the best.